Hi, I'm Allison Howard. Today's yoga practice is going to be one that I am doing kind of selfishly as an act of self-care and self-love for myself. I experience a lot of SI joint pain, hip pain in my left side, and this sort of twisting practice I've learned thanks to one of my favorite teachers, Sarah Beam. It helps a lot with that sensation in my SI joint. So this is not meant to be medical advice or to treat you for any sort of pain, but it is the kind of practice that makes me feel a lot better when I am having that sort of sensation. So a lot of low body twisting and a lot of engaging in through the outer hips. Hopefully you'll enjoy this practice. If you've not already, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me put out new yoga videos every single Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You might like to have a block for the final portion of this practice, but you really don't need anything besides your mat and yourself. So join me on your mat. We will begin in a comfortable seat. So perhaps you'd like to lift your hips up onto the edge of a block or a blanket or a pillow. Maybe you'd like to sit in Sukhasana, easy pose, or sit back on your heels, whatever you like. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. And if it feels okay for you, wherever you are, you might allow your eyes to fall shut, or just find a soft gaze down toward the floor. We'll start just by noticing the breath without any intention to change it. Although if you're anything like me, noticing the breath without changing it is really difficult to do. So if that's the case, don't worry that your breath might have changed. Just notice. Notice where the breath seems to create the most sensation in the body, in the throat, in the belly, in the chest, the tip of the nose. Just notice. And then begin to lengthen the breath. Draw breath into the belly, ballooning the belly out. Take a long exhale. Belly comes back toward the spine. On your next inhale, draw breath into the belly again. And this time, keep drawing up breath, expand out the ribs. Exhale, belly draws back towards spine, ribs soften down. On your next inhale, balloon up the belly, expand the ribs. Keep drawing breath in, lift the chest and the collarbones with your breath from the inside. And exhale, soften belly. Lower the ribs, soften the chest. Allow the normal breath to come back in. I invite you to flutter your eyes open. Bring hands down to either sides of the hips. Lengthen up through the crown of the head again. And on your next inhale, lift your arms up and overhead. Look up toward the sky. Exhale, hands come down by the hips. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, hands back down by the hips. Inhale up. And exhale, hands down by the hips. Take an inhale, lengthen up. And this time, exhale, bring your right hand down by your right hip and lift your left arm up and overhead, side bending toward your right. Spiral your ribs up toward the sky. And inhale, both arms up. Exhale, side bend over to the left. Spiral your ribs up toward the sky. Lengthen in between the armpit and the hip on the right side. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, twist around toward your right. Your left hand comes to the right knee, right hand behind the back. Lengthen up through the crown of the head, and then exhale, turn the head and deepen the twist around toward your right. Inhale, lift both arms up to the sky. And exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. Come to a neutral tabletop here for just a moment. Lengthen the crown of the head toward the top of the mat. Square hips. Eyes of the elbows shine toward the top of the mat. This strong table is our neutral base. And from here, we're going to take a few spinal variations. So you might begin by looking over your left shoulder toward your left hip and bringing your left hip up and toward your left shoulder, making a C shape with the spine. And inhale back to neutral. Exhale, make a C shape with the spine toward the right. Inhale to neutral. C shape other side. Notice sensation in the pelvis and the hip. Inhale to neutral. And exhale, C shape other side. Oh, these pops and cracks happening in my back right now. And this glorious stretch in my hip. So that might be the case for you, it might not, but notice what is the case for you. Where do you feel sensation? And where is sensation more quiet? Back to neutral spine. Take an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the hips, and exhale, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale to round. Back to a neutral tabletop. Step your left toes back toward the back edge of the mat. Shine your right hand forward toward the top of the mat. And inhale, lift your left heel off of the mat. Your next inhale, lengthen. And exhale, your right elbow comes toward your left knee. Inhale, length. And exhale, elbow toward knee. Inhale, length. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, length. And from here, option to do elbow to knee once again, or bring your right hand back behind the back and grab a hold of your left foot. Now from here, you might invite the left foot to kick into the right hand, really stabilizing strongly through the core, squeezing the outer hips, squeezing the glutes. And exhale, hand and knee back to the mat, swish it out, side to side. And we'll do that again, other side. Take an inhale, right toes come to the back edge of the mat. Left hand shines forward. Inhale, lift the right heel. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, length. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, length. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, length. Option to do elbow to knee again, or reach around and try and find the outside of that right foot. Kick the right foot into the left hand. Stabilize through the belly. And exhale. Hands and knees back to the mat. Swish the hips here. Walk your hands about a handprint forward. Tuck your toes under. And lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. You can bend generously into the knees here. Maybe walk the feet out. Bend into one knee and then the other. And come to stillness. Take an inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look in between the hands and walk your way up to a halfway lift. Lengthen shoulder blades down the back. Gaze forward. You can take a nice generous bend into the knees here. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach your arms out and up, come to stand. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back to plank pose. And from here, you are welcome to lower the knees down. Grip the mat with your elbow, grip the mat with your hands, not your elbows. Shine your elbows toward the top of the mat. Shift your shoulders forward, bend your elbows 90 degrees. And then inhale, lift the chest up. And exhale, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look and walk, step, hop to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in, and inhale, sweep the arms out and up, come to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, lower your knees or keep them lifted, and we'll go through Chaturanga. Elbows hug in by the rib cage. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 long, slow breaths here in down dog.
Your knees can bend just as much as they need to bend so that your pelvis can lift up toward the sky. Find the opening sensation in the sacrum, that low, low, low part of the back. Take an inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look to the top of the mat, and arrive in your way. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Take an inhale, sink your hips back, reach your arms up, Utkatasana, chair pose. And I'm wiggling my hips here, settling into my chair, finding a steady chair. And you may be way down here today, you may be way up here. Just be in it, wherever you are. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, and flow through your vinyasa, or meet me in downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift your right heel to the sky. Exhale, plant the right foot in between the hands, lower your left knee down. And inhale, come up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Sink your hips forward here, if that feels nice. We're looking for sensation to build in the front of the left hip. So just as far as you need to be forward to get that sensation. If this is uncomfortable on the left knee, you might like a blanket or a pad underneath. You can double up the mat. Exhale, hands come to frame off the right foot. And inhale, reach your right arm up toward the sky for this open arm twist. Your gaze is up toward your right hand. Feel the spiraling of the pelvis toward your right. Hug your outer hips in. An option to press up to an open arm twist here. Take an inhale. Exhale, your right hand comes to the outside of your left thigh. Left arm comes overhead. Inhale, come back to that open arm twist. Exhale, frame off the right foot with the hands. Tuck the left toes, step it back, downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, lift the left heel. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands, lower your right knee down. Inhale, come up, Anjaneyasana. As much up as you need to come to feel that sensation in your right hip. You might sink forward. You might be way up here. Feel and notice everything that this pose has to offer. Inhale. Exhale, your right hand comes down inside the left foot. Inhale, left arm sweeps up overhead. Option to lift up into an open arm twist toward your left. Inhale here. And exhale, left hand finds the outside of the right thigh, right hand sweeps overhead. Exhale, come back to your open arm twist. Frame off the left foot with the hands, step it back, and press back to downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, or hop, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank and flow, or meet me in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right heel. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands. Leave your left heel lifted, and inhale, come up, crescent lunge. Hug your outer hips in here. Hug the right hip back, enough so you feel a squaring sensation toward the top of the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands frame off the right foot. And inhale, lift your right hand up to the sky. Beautiful. Option to lower your left knee down or keep it lifted. Hug your outer hips in and come up, to this open arm twist. Take an inhale here. Exhale, right hand finds left thigh, right arm sweeping up and overhead. Inhale to your open arm twist. Exhale, frame off that foot, step it back, down dog. Inhale, lift your left heel. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands, leave your back heel lifted. Inhale, crescent lunge. Find your squaring sensation by adjusting the position of your left hip. Lengthen the tailbone down. Fingertips reach up. And exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale, left arm comes up. Option here, you can lower your right knee or leave it lifted and stabilizing the outside of the hips. Inhale, come up to this open arm twist. Exhale, left hand finds the outside of the right thigh. Don't fall over. Right arm sweeps overhead. Inhale, back up, open arm twist. Exhale, frame off the feet, step it back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Look to the top of the mat and inhale, arrive, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to plank pose. Go through your flow or meet me in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, plant the right foot in between the hands. Ground down your left foot at 90 degrees. Open your arms out, warrior two. Right knee over the right ankle. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your right hand forward, forward, forward. And then you can bring your right fingers down to the mat inside of the right foot, or bring your right forearm to the top of the right thigh. Your left arm sweeps under and overhead. Extended side angle, Utthita Parsvakonasana. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, reverse. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. And exhale, frame off the right foot with the hands and flow. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left heel. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands, warrior two. Tailbone lengthens down. Take an inhale, shift your left hand forward, and then it can come down, or your left forearm can come to the outside, to the top of the left thigh. Your left arm sweeps under and overhead. Utthita Parsa Konasana. Inhale, come up, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Frame off the left foot with the hands. Step it back, flow. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Step your feet forward, 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 and bring your backside down to the mat. We're gonna get ready for some bridge poses. So lower the back all the way down to the mat. Your hips come toward the heels. Your hands come down toward your heels as well, so that you might be able to graze the backs of the heels with your fingertips. Ground the back of your head down and into the mat. And on your next inhale, use the strength of your glutes and lift your hips up toward the sky. Walk the backs of your shoulder blades underneath the back. Maybe clasp the fingertips underneath the pelvis. Lift the hips up. And breathe. And exhale, lower all the way down. Windshield wiper the knees, left and right. You're welcome to take another bridge, just like the one we just took. Or if you have a block or something about this size, you can lift your hips up and place the block on any setting underneath the sacrum for this supported bridge pose. Allow the weight of the pelvis to sink heavy onto the block. Feeling the sensation in the fronts of your hip creases. As you're ready, inhale, lift your hips off of the block. Remove the block, set it off to the side. Exhale, lower the hips down. Windshield wiper hips left and right. From here, hug the knees into the chest. And on your exhale, release your left foot back down to the mat. Leave the knee pointing to the sky. Take the right ankle and cross it on top of the left thigh. From here, you can grasp onto the back of the left thigh, lifting the head or allowing it to lower down to the mat. Bring your foot to an active position
flexing the toes, flexing the ankle. If you want more sensation, you can grasp the front of the left shin. The closer you hug the left knee toward the chest, the more sensation you may feel in the outsides of the hips, the right hip in particular. So find your point of comfort and discomfort, the sort of edge zone there between too much sensation and not quite enough. And we will hang out here for just a moment. On your inhales, press breath into the pelvis. Expanding through your right and left hip. And exhale, soften away from that sensation. Notice the waves and sensation in this pose as they rise and fall. As you're ready, begin to soften the left foot down away from the body toward the mat. Move slowly as if through molasses here. Maybe finding a gentle sway of the hips left and right. Take the hands, grasp the right ankle and calf, and gently guide the right leg back toward the mat. Inhale, hug both knees in. Exhale, your left foot comes down toward the mat. Sorry, your right foot comes down toward the mat. Your left ankle crosses on top of the right thigh. You know where we're headed now, but see if you can notice the sensation in this side as much as you did in the other side with the beginner's mind. Take an inhale, clasp the back of the right thigh with the hands. You can lift the back of the head off the mat or keep it lowered down. If you'd like, you can bring the hands to the outsides of the right shin. This side might be very different from you from the other side, and it is really different for me. I feel a lot of sensation. And this side, it's quite loud. Anytime you have intense sensation, experiment with breathing into that intensity and watching where the sensation goes. Here, we'll breathe into the left side of the pelvis. And exhale, find softness. Feel and notice here. Be present for this sensation as it comes. And exhale. Gently lower right foot down to the mat. Pause here. And notice. Moving as if through molasses. You can grasp the left ankle and calf and gently guide your left foot back down to the mat. Windshield wiper knees, left and right. Hug knees in toward the chest. And rock yourself up to a seat. You're welcome to end this practice in a final Shavasana, lying back on your mat, or use this moment to take a seated meditation. Thank you all so much for practicing with me.